Hello, everyone, and welcome to Voices of Wisdom. I'm Kira Schaefer, and I'm so incredibly happy that you are joining us today. I have got a very special guest, a wonderful guest with us today, as I have had all these amazing guests on Voices of Wisdom. Her name is YuSon Shin, and she is here to talk to us about energy hygiene. And I adore her. She has such a gentle, loving, compassionate spirit who is always promoting health and wellness from that energetic standpoint, helping us to step into our own natural healing abilities. And she's going to give us some tips and tools and things that we can use today, right now, to help us to transform our lives energetically, which then, as we all know, goes way far beyond even our physical experience. So please help me welcome the amazing YuSon. Hi.
Hi, Kira. How are you?
Very good. I have got a million questions for you.
Yeah. I've got the answers.
Awesome. Guys, just so you know, please comment. Please let us know you're out there. Foxy's already telling us what's up. Hey. And please, if you have questions, feel free to ask as we go along as well. So, YuSon, tell us about you and more about the awesomeness of who you are.
Well, I consider myself a healer first and foremost, but I also, under that healing umbrella, I am a evidential medium. I am an intuitive, and thanks to you, I'm an author and a speaker. So, and as a healer, I use so many different modalities. I have a lot of tools in my tool belt. And I'm a Reiki master. I do the Bengston energy work, which is the only one that I know of that's scientifically tested to show that it cures cancer.
Wow.
And yeah, it's really powerful. And then I also do clearings using the Akashic records and also Chinese energy healing, DNA theta, quantum touch, you name it. It's like the list is so long. I just have to stop.
At some point, we just go like, okay. She's awesome, folks. She has got everything at her disposal to help you heal. Yes. Okay, so I'm ready to ask you some questions. How do you feel about that? Cool.
I'm ready.
Awesome. All right. So first off, what does energy hygiene mean?
So the theme today is all about keeping it clean. So especially the parts that you cannot see. And we simply aren't taught these things here. So here I am. Our parents did a good job of teaching us to brush our teeth and bathe daily and keep clean for health reasons. And even if we can't shower, we know to throw some soap and water on our important bits, right? But there are important bits that we can't see, like our human energy field. We call that our aura or our chi, our energy centers known as our chakras, and our energy pathways called meridians, and even the unseen influence of our ancestors, childhood trauma, past lives, and our ongoing negative thoughts, emotions, or speech. I mean, there's so much affecting us like that's not seen. So let's break it down and let's talk about energy. So according to Einstein, everything is energy. Even though we can't see it, we've all felt it, right? So for example, when you walk into a room and it has good vibes, we all know what this means. We can't see things like our thoughts, gravity, x-rays, radio waves, cell phone waves, but they exist and they're powerful. And when an opera singer breaks glass with the power of her voice, the power of sound waves is apparent.
Can I stop you really quick? Yeah. We actually have we just have a question about high-pitched tinnitus. Mm-hmm. So maybe this is something you can have in your mind while we're talking. But hello from South Africa. Please tell me how to heal huge pitch tinnitus.
Yeah.
I think, did I say that right?
Yeah, I think
Tinnitus.
so.
Yeah.
That's the ringing in the ear.
Yeah. So just have that in your mind. You may not be able to answer it right now in this red hot second, but if you can, great. But if not, I just thought I would put it out there because you just said pitch and breaking glass. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing.
Yeah. So, Shani, I'm going to send you healing while we're doing this. And just so everyone knows, also, as a healer, I'm sending everyone who is here healing energy. So, I hope that helps you. Okay. So, we can be affected by the unseen just as much, if not more, than what can be seen. So, most experts agree that even with communication, between 70 to 93% of communication is nonverbal. So, there's a lot to be said about things that we cannot see influencing us, right? So energy flows through everything and creates everything. Even our thoughts and our emotions are energy, and everything vibrates at a certain frequency. So lower vibration or frequency simply creates more density. So our thoughts are up here, our bodies are vibrating here, and the chairs that you're sitting on are even on lower on the scale. And just because things appear solid and separate from us doesn't mean that they are. It's actually an illusion. It's the best magic trick. We're all connected, and on a subatomic level, we don't find matter, we find pure energy. And this is called the matrix or the universe unified field. And this is where magic happens.
Very good. Yeah, that I've been working a lot with the unified field lately, and learning and connecting with the concepts, because that's we got to get through the concepts first in order to integrate fully and energetically. So tell me, why is energy hygiene important?
We'll talk about the unseen. Bacteria and viruses can't be seen with the naked eye, but it still affects us. Anyone hear of COVID?
Yeah, right.
The same is true.
I did. Yeah.
I think it sounds familiar, but the same is true with cleaning up the other unseen things. So, cleanliness is important for health, healing, and preventing illness, and just for plain feeling good. So, but on a physical level, children learn when they scrape their knee, there's a system that their parents show them of healing, right? First, clean and disinfect the wound. Then we get a band-aid to give the wound space to heal. And then, if your mom's kind, she'll top it off with a kiss and tell you everything will be better, right?
Yes.
So when kids grow up to be parents themselves, that's what they do for their kids. And we model good hygiene on the physical level, but no one teaches us about the invisible stuff. So it's a rare household that practices grounding, clearing auras, chakras, cleaning up your thoughts, emotions, your trauma, and practicing forgiveness and gratitude, right? So cleaning isn't just about keeping germs at bay, it also helps our energy circulation. And if our energy doesn't flow, we stagnate and can't remove the bad stuff like toxins. So, but let's take a look at our bodies. We have different energy systems in the body. They have different names like chi, aura, chakras, meridians, which are connected to our bodily organs and systems. And each one has a flow. And when you're in the flow, your body has the innate ability to heal itself. And disease simply means our energy isn't flowing. So if we take a look at how disease happens, disease first shows up on a person's energy field. And when the energy field isn't cleaned out, vibrations pertaining to that issue go lower and lower, and then it materializes into an energy block. When there's a block or an imbalance in the energy flow that's left unchecked for long enough, illness happens.
Yeah.
And it's not just physical, it can be emotional, mental, spiritual, and even financial. So it can turn up in the form of high blood pressure, diabetes, IBS, depression, loneliness, loss of connection with ourselves and source, and even being broke. So the prevention or cure is to be in the flow. It's having space to be and to feel safe and open to infinite possibilities. Has anyone driven in traffic and experienced cars moving out of your lane, creating space for you so you can move freely and fast and furious? That's what slow feels like.
I'm convinced. I am so convinced. So I don't like, so I live in an apartment and we've had the same apartment for 10 years and we're very dedicated to this space. But we have a pool and there's kids out there and they're yelling and screaming and running and playing and doing, but I wanted to go to the pool badly. Did I want to go to the pool? I don't know, but I wanted the kids out. So I'm convinced I made it rain.
See how powerful you are.
My husband is actually the king at this. He's like, I think I want to go to the pool. And then about an hour later, there's no one there.
That's amazing.
He pushes his energy out first. And then it's like, we are so introverted. It's ridiculous. We use our energetics to continue to promote our introversion.
Well, I'm an introvert too, but you guys are powerful. I love it.
Nah, it's just what is it called? A conscious bias or some kind of something like that, some kind of psychological term, but unconscious bias or something where we were like, oh, I must have made that happen. It's ego is really what it is.
It's the power of intention.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what are the main culprits that can interrupt your energy flow?
Well, there's 7 that I know of that I've identified. So number 1 is negative thought and emotional patterns. Number 2 is prolonged stress. That's a killer. Number 3 is unhealthy food. Number 4, environmental toxins. Number 5, trauma. Number 6, negative patterns or trauma passed down from one generation to the next. This is ancestral or generational baggage. Thank you, grandma, grandpa. And number 7, the last one, is past life and karmic energy. So I want to talk about each one a little bit more in depth. So number 1, negative thought and emotional patterns. So we know where your mind goes, your body follows. So example, when you think about going to the kitchen to make a snack, your body goes there.
Yes, it's almost like it lives there. YuSon, I'm already in the kitchen, okay? Get my snack.
Evidently, my mind is always in the kitchen.
My mind is always on snacks, girl.
I hear you. Me too. So, and it's also true if you think about negative thoughts or say negative things, your body will follow your instructions. So along the same vein, where your attention goes, your energy flows. And the stronger the emotion, the stronger you anchor it into reality. And that may be a reality you may or may not want. So be careful there.
Yeah.
So thoughts are incredibly powerful. Focus on suffering or pain, and you get more suffering or pain. And the wise Henry Ford said, if you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right. Negative thoughts take on a life of their own and can take over your life. So people can make themselves sick with their thoughts. And on the flip side, there's the placebo effect where people can cure themselves with thought. So you really are what you think. And there's a computer science phrase, not to geek out on you, but
geek out on me, girl.
I'm a nerd at heart, so here I go. So that phrase is garbage in, garbage out, and it's about programming and data input. So this affects our self-image and our view of the world, and we do what ever is necessary to be the type of person we believe ourselves to be. And the outside world is simply a reflection or a mirror image of our internal reality. And so our beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies.
Yeah.
So Buddha, who hasn't heard of Buddha, he said, I think he was wise.
Yeah, I know what he was talking about. He's a world master. I like that guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. And what you imagine, you create. So knowing that our thoughts are powerful, just like you in that pool, you and your husband.
Except it was raining and then I couldn't get in the pool. See? Like, hold on. What did I do there? But it was quiet for a minute. That's exciting.
Well, the impact of our thoughts are great. And when we use our thoughts to beat ourselves up or create inner conflict, I mean, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And we do this in so many ways. Like, some ways are overt, like saying negative things about ourselves. And others are subtle, like trying to please others while not honoring ourselves or taking on other people's energy. Like, who has been so nice that they took someone else's stuff on? And having a love-hate relationship with ourselves or even self-sabotage. So when we don't love, respect, and honor ourselves, we experience disease. And then there's also a side effect where others also treat us badly. So our
True
thoughts,
that.
yeah,
Boy,
side
yeah,
effect nobody.
absolutely true.
So our thoughts give value to everything, and these values affect our emotions. Our powerful minds move each of us toward what we envision. When we don't know our life purpose or what makes us happy, we are like a ship without a rudder and we drift. So if we know where we want to go, we can use our imagination to guide us. We are gifted with brilliant imaginations. We can strap an engine on our hypothetical boat by programming ourselves with thought, words, and actions. So, number 2, prolonged stress. We all know about stress. We know that your body, like a magnet, has an electromagnetic charge and polarity. And when we live in stress, we diminish our invisible field of electromagnetic energy and literally lose our power. So, stress also releases hormones called cortisol. I think a lot of people have heard of this. This helps with our fight or flight response, which gives us a rush of energy so we can run away from danger fast. But when we're stressed all the time, it pushes that create inflammation and disease. And to top it off, you become addicted to the thoughts that make you feel bad. And the negative loop continues. Who here, and I'm me included, have been like in that little negative thought loop and you can't get out and it just goes and you lose sleep over it.
Totally.
All sorts of things. And, it makes you anxious and unable to really perform at your best. And when stress levels go up, this lowers the levels of IgA, a powerful chemical inside your body responsible for healthy immune function. And when we move to a higher vibrational state like love, joy, and gratitude for even 10 minutes 3 times a day, we can measurably increase our IgA levels and signal our body to make new genes. In one day, your body replaces 60 billion cells, and you have the ability to shape the quality of cell production with thoughts, emotion, and intention. That's powerful. And number 3, unhealthy food. It's kind of self-explanatory, but I'm including not drinking enough water in this category. So your body is 60 to 65% water. So water is truly the elixir of life. This is where it's super helpful to energize and bless your food and water before it enters your body. And make sure that what is entering is good stuff. And note that every body is different. And it's important to recognize which foods your body likes. In my intuition and healing workshops, you learn how to muscle test, do kinesthetic healing or testing to see if different foods, even the healthy ones, are actually good for you. And you can even test to see how often you can eat something considered bad before it has a negative effect on your body, which is really helpful. It really helps you get to know your body. So, number 4 is environmental toxins, and this includes anything from the outside that can affect us, like obvious pollution, chemicals, radiation, eating foods high in mercury, lead, metals, and electromagnetic frequencies emitted from cell phones, computers, cell towers, and electrical grids. But I also want to include in this category negative people and energy vampires. Emotions are contagious, and when one person laughs, it triggers others to laugh. And that's why laugh tracks on sitcoms are so effective. But on the negative spectrum is fear, stress, sadness, and anger. And motivational speaker Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of 5 people that you spend the most time with." So ask yourself if your friends and family affect you positively or negatively. They lift you up, or are you exhausted after a visit? So maybe it's time for some spring cleaning on your contact.
I really like this one. Well, I mean, I don't have anyone around me, or at least not for the last year. But I have been very blessed to be able to say that, the people that are around me, they are handpicked. I mean,
Right?
I remember when I was going through, before I kind of had my own personal transformation and awakening and the kind of first steps into healing and healing art and healing world. Um, I had every bad person you could possibly imagine around me. Like they were addicted, they were alcoholics, they were abusive, they were angry at their core and showed it, and oh gosh, like now I'm like, oh, don't make me responsible for your happiness. People would make me responsible for every experience they were having. And so it was like, oh God, and talk about trying to have a choice. They would do everything they could to take my choice away, unsolicited advice, like all kinds of stuff. And I didn't even realize that I was being attacked. I was being abused. I was in a narcissistic relationship. I didn't even realize it. It's kind of that thing, we don't know how bad we feel until we start feeling good and start seeing good people show up. And I thought, well, if I get rid of these people that are abusive takers who are hurtful and angry and cruel, I won't have anyone. I won't have anyone. They won't fill in. I'll be all alone.
There's
Girl,
that
you
fear
know
trigger.
they did. They filled in, and I got better than I ever could have even imagined, but I had to believe that first. So that's excellent. That's a really excellent point.
And this is why clearing our contacts list and also creating like really strong boundaries is helpful, because they will take your soul if they could.
Yes, they will, and they can't unless you give it.
That's
So,
right. So don't give them that power.
I did that for too long. Yeah. So
You and I both.
YuSon is giving you permission right now to keep your soul.
So I speak from experience. I've experienced everything that I'm talking about. So number 5 is trauma. It can cause intense emotion and leave us feeling unsafe, which is the worst, and disrupt our beliefs and assumptions about the world. And our sense of our own ability to control our lives may be shattered. So it changes the fight or flight response and causes things like PTSD. So it is very powerful trauma. Thoughts and reality become anchored in that trauma, and you can change the circuitry in your brain to go from victim to your own hero. So trauma doesn't have to stay with you, and it doesn't have to affect you negatively. You can learn your lessons for sure, but you can move on from that.
Yeah. So just a few comments here. Yes, so true. Herbie is saying, "Hey, what's up?" We have someone in one of the groups saying, "I totally agree with the last one." Yeah, very, very good. Let's see. Are we ready to move on to the next question?
Oh no, actually, we have to cover 6 and 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Number 6. This number 6 culprit for changing the energy. So negative emotions and thought patterns pass down from one generation to the next. So we're supercomputers that can be programmed, and the programming is powerful. So when we're young, our parents program us, which is why we later become our parents. Is that right? Even if we don't want to. It's how we're programmed. And New York's Mount Sinai Hospital published a study that showed that trauma suffered from Holocaust survivors can trigger genetic changes in the DNA of their children. It's the clearest sign that one person's life experience can affect subsequent generations. So there can be a transmission of trauma through epigenetic inheritance. And you can also inherit a memory of trauma. So scientists at Emory University trained mice to fear the smell of cherry blossom by pairing the smell with a small electric shock. And the offspring of these mice had the same fear response to the smell of cherry blossom, even though they never encountered the smell before. So that is powerful. And so there's sufficient proof that negative thought and experience can be passed down to us from our ancestors. But the good news is we can reprogram ourselves. So the last one is 7, past life or karmic energy. So some of you might be wondering how past life or karma affects your well-being now. And even if you don't believe it, this is typically where unexplained issues are rooted. So there are good aspects to past lives. For example, we have child prodigies that likely remember a skill from another life, and that's why they're so good at what they do. And sometimes we can be triggered in our adult life, skill sets that we learned in past lives. So the negative effects might be where someone might have a phobia but can't pinpoint its origin in this lifetime. Or if someone experienced a serious head injury in a past life, they may experience severe headaches now. Another one, if someone made a vow of poverty or chastity, like if they were a priest in a past life, and they feel like they can never get ahead financially or romantically in this lifetime because of the promises they made before. Or last example, if your mother rejected you in one life, you may have a terrible fear of abandonment in this lifetime, and it can be unexplained. So this affects us as we can be triggered by things in this lifetime that we cannot explain, and we can also be drawn to things that are not good for us. So we can find ourselves trapped in behavior cycles until we learn our lesson. But the good news is we can clear all of these past life and karmic issues using a variety of tools, like Akashic Records clearing, Chinese energy healing.
Yeah, I've done some Akashic Records work, and I've done a lot of past lives work, and I was a hypnotist for 20 years. So, yeah, it's funny because you would think that with somebody as healthy of an ego as I have, I would have been a king or a queen or something really dope. No, I'd like poisoned myself by accident. I was just a regular person. I was doing regular shit, I was just not like anybody important. I killed a lot of people. Apparently, I'm just making up for the stuff I did. Like people think, oh, aren't you a good person? I'm like, no. It's because I killed you. I'm just trying to love you now so I can reach enlightenment.
That's right. Yeah. Who hasn't killed people?
Right? So I know we have some like really good questions, but I want to look at some of these people that are commenting like crazy over here. Alina, let's see. How can we enter into the flow state and feel we are connected with our own souls better? Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah. So I actually talk about that a little later.
Okay.
So I'll cover that
later. Okay, let's do that. She also says, and thank you very much for this so constructive and useful information. Much appreciate.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And this might come later too. How can we reprogram ourselves?
Yeah, I gave you step-by-steps on how to do that.
Perfect. Foxy is saying, I'm so guilty of negative thought loops.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. Let's see. And then can you talk about on the spot skills? Can you talk about on the spot skills that can help in the moment? Can you, okay. So like things, the tools you can use right away. And there goes that word fear again. Yes. So I think we're going to get to more tools in just a second. So I think all these questions are going to get answered kind of naturally.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. How does energy hygiene help in areas other than healing or health?
Okay, yeah. So we can't heal without cleaning our wounds first. And we also can't rise if we cling to all our baggage. And baggage is heavy, man. We have to cut it. It's dead weight. So the infinite is possible when we start with a blank, clean canvas. And we feel this like every new year or at the start of something new, even like in the morning when we wake up. It's a new day. Yeah. So often we try to build our life on a waste site filled with debris. So if you try to build on something other than a solid, clean foundation, it's very shaky. So on a personal energetic level, if one builds on a foundation littered with garbage, our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and even financial buildings, or I like to build skyscrapers because I want to be up there with God. It's structurally compromised and it may topple. We call those breakdowns. The prevention or cure is to keep it clean and to be in the flow.
I love that. Let's see. What else do we have? Is energy hygiene really necessary? Because not everybody practices it. Maybe not everybody knows about it either. But is it necessary?
Only if you want to live a magical and extraordinary life. Who wants to be ordinary? Nobody. But I also want to mention that appearances are deceptive, right? So how many people show their best selves on social media but are desperately unhappy?
Why do you keep talking about me? Why do you keep saying things about me? Come on, man.
It's true. It's a universal thing. So the tendency is to ignore energy blocks and sweep our traumas and negative thoughts under the rug.
Yeah.
But let me paint a picture of what happens when we do that. So sweeping, stuffing, ignoring just creates, imagine this, a giant boil of energetic blocks. Picture this. So these boils will fester and get really ugly if not lanced and cleaned out. And you can literally cause anything from anxiety, unhappiness, to even more serious things like cancer. And when you don't remove blocks, it prevents you from getting what you want in life or where you want to get to in life. So say your goal is to have perfect health, or get a promotion or find the love of your life. When you have blocks, it's like driving a Ferrari down a road littered with garbage. So no matter how fast you want to go, the garbage leaves you going at a snail's pace so you don't mess up your vehicle. And it makes it difficult to get to your destination. So when you have these blocks, it's also like asking the universe, please fill my abundance basket. But it's already filled with so much junk that there's no room to receive your gifts.
Yeah.
So all of these examples, as you can imagine, can lead to feelings of unhappiness, frustration, negativity, being unfulfilled, or simply exhausted. So the law of attraction only works when your feelings, beliefs, or actions are in alignment with what you want. So these negative feelings block you and can cause a downward spiral physically, emotionally, mentally, financially. And sometimes we can limit the spiraling to just one segment of our life, like love or health,
Yeah, right.
while our
Everything is fine except for this big, giant, glaring, horrific thing that's happening every single day that I don't have any control over. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But I want to emphasize that all around abundance and health is our natural state of being. So even if just one area suffers, it impacts our overall happiness. And I want to note that healing is most effective when done holistically. That means focus isn't just on the physical. Strive to align, balance, and clear your mind, body, and soul, even thoughts and emotions, to achieve the flow. So
Yeah.
the good news is you don't have to see energy healing or even understand it to benefit. Just like shampooing, clear, cleanse, repeat, clear, cleanse, repeat. And you do this by using your imagination, intuition, and intention.
I love it. Okay, let's see. Okay. What are some things we can do to maintain good energy health?
Yeah, there are some simple things, just like you brush your teeth, practice energy hygiene. Number one, ground yourself every day. So I tell my students that if you do not ground, the effect is like being a plastic bag blowing in the wind all day long. And guess what? You feel exhausted at the end of the day because you're being whipped around by other people and other energies. And when you're grounded, you're like a big, strong tree. If something happens around you, it doesn't affect you much, and you're more peaceful and balanced. When you ground yourself, you're less susceptible to absorbing other people's energy. And it's important for everyone, but critical for empaths and healers. Grounding allows you to connect energetically to the earth and also the cosmic energies. We're made of the stars, but we're living here on earth. So grounding allows us to receive nourishing, healing energy from both above and below and helps with our flow. It puts us in our bodies instead of checking out. I've checked out so many times, I cannot even tell you. Because I'm like, I'm done. And we can center ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. It helps us feel powerful, in control, safe, present. It gives us a sense of belonging and helps us focus because we're not easily influenced by our environment and other people's energy. It actually helps to calm our nervous system, reduces stress and inflammation, and improves circulation. So, for the thinkers who are also always in your head, like me, this is a great way to be connected with your feelings. I'm like, feelings? What feelings? I mean, the first 20 years of my life, I'm like, what? So, but grounding also gives you an energetic foundation to build upon so you can manifest things on your wish list faster. Grounding helps your intuition, which is everybody's superpower. Everyone has intuition. And lastly, grounding allows you to release into the earth excess energy or energy that isn't yours. Just by being grounded, you're clearing yourself.
Yeah.
So those are a few ways to ground yourself. Actually, one is by doing physical activity like dancing, sports, gardening, hugging a tree, walking barefoot, or even eating. That's my favorite. And two, by setting the intention and imagining the energetic connection from the heavens down through your body and down to the center of the earth. So I like to ground myself in the morning and before bed. Before bed is especially important, especially if you wake up feeling like a truck hit you.
You
Because
still talking about me?
this whole thing's about you and me.
I know it.
And it's because we're spiritual beings. We
Yeah.
often travel when we sleep. And so grounding helps us actually get back into our bodies in the morning faster.
Nice.
And the beauty of it is grounding is free and it's quick and it's easy to do. Like anyone can do it and it doesn't cost you anything.
Mm-mm.
So grounding number one. Number two, practice mindfulness and living with intention. So our consciousness produces our reality, yet we tend to live unconsciously on autopilot. So be present, think deliberately. There's another way of saying set your intentions. Your success rate goes up exponentially when you set your intention on the outcome of anything. So, number three, clean up your mind and your thoughts. Be mindful of your thoughts. Mind produces matter. Sometimes we get stuck in the perception of ourselves and the world. And when that happens, the best thing to do is imagine the life we want. Energy healing or manifesting is not confined by time and space. It just feels that way because we hold on to our past opinions, beliefs, behaviors, and outcomes. Our current expectations are based on past experiences. So, but get out of the past or even the worries of the future. Magic happens in the present. And there's an example. So, in 1954, Roger Bannister was a runner. He shattered the belief that no man can run a mile in under 4 minutes. He did it in 3 minutes, 59 seconds. And he did it by visualizing the achievement. He set the intention. So expectations are powerful. So if no one tells a newbie that something is difficult, the newbies tend to do it with success. And then we call that beginner's luck.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's definitely that thing where you say, nobody told me I couldn't.
mhm.
Like I've had successful businesses based on the idea since no one told me I can't. I'm like, yeah. And then the people who have similar businesses are like, how did you do that? I'm like, why aren't you doing it? Like, because somewhere somebody told them, yeah, why are you going to try that? That's not going to work, or that's not going to, happen. And I'm like, that's why, that's huge. Also, that same story, after that 3 minute and 59 second, then subsequently people kept breaking the record and going lower and lower and lower. It's like sometimes you need to see someone be successful in order to go, I can do that.
Yeah, good old Roger showed people the way.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a matter of believing and because they saw it. So seeing can be believing, but also the unseen. We know how important that is.
Absolutely. Believing is seeing. Yeah.
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 So, yeah. And the other part is declutter your mind, get into the present, and open yourself to the infinite possibilities. The best way to get intuitive hits about what to do next and feel divinely guided, which everybody wants, is by clearing the mind. And the best way to declutter the mind is with meditation. So, you get to be present. You get to clear yourself of old experiences and thoughts which are limiting, and you get transported into the limitless. And this is where you create and manifest the fastest. So you'll also find that many synchronicities happen in support of your goals when you're clear of mind and have clear intentions. So clean up negative thoughts about yourself. The thing I clear most in my clients is self-worth issues. So self-criticism, self-loathing, which leads to self-sabotage and disease. And just like when your mom would kiss your boo-boo, take the approach of showing yourself kindness and love. And if you have a physical issue, it likely started with your thoughts. So change them and rewire your brain and fire different circuits. We can visualize what we want to embody our new truth. So Olympic athletes do this all the time to achieve gold. So, and the last concept in being mindful of thought is to be clear about what you want. So clients come to me feeling stuck. They're clearly unhappy about where they are, but they don't have a clue about what they want, and because they haven't thought about it. They only know what they don't want. So they have a long list of what I don't want, but what do you want? And then they're like dumbfounded.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes you have to make a list of everything you want to try to figure out what you of what you don't want in order to figure out what you do want. So I actually give homework to clients. And it varies depending on what they need at the time. But the most common homework is I ask them to write out what they want and then like infuse those wants with the feelings of having it. And sometimes the simple exercise can be the most difficult, but it's, I tell you, the most rewarding.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Number 4, words. Okay. Clean them up and clean up how you communicate. So speak positive words, especially about yourself and others. We are all magicians, and your word is your magic wand. So here's an example of words creating issues. People who repeatedly say, I fight for this or I fight for that, may develop an autoimmune disorder as their body fights itself. Or people who constantly say, I don't want to remember, might develop Alzheimer's or dementia. So words are powerful. Reprogram yourself to clean up your language, which is directly correlated with how you feel, and that influences your thought. Everything triggers something else. So for example, instead of saying I get to, feel into that versus I have to. Or even better, I'm blessed to versus I have to. I can versus I can't. I am versus I'm not. I love myself versus I hate myself. Like, can you feel the difference in that?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, your words have the power to heal. Let's take a look at the power of a simple apology. So, you can heal rifts between people. As we learned from the healing practice of Ho'oponopono, um, apologizing can clear a lot of energy. So, use loving words with yourself and others. Number 5, clean up your actions. So set your intentions before any actions. You'll accomplish things faster and you'll stop them from running around. You'll stop yourself from running around aimlessly. So often we sabotage ourselves by doing things that contradict what we want. And for example, we say we want respect and then we treat others better than we treat ourselves. We want to save up for vacation and then we spend money on something we clearly don't need. So cut this out by being conscious of what you also things that make you feel good and do things that make you feel good and set you up for success. So get sleep, exercise, eat right, be present in your relationships, acknowledge people, set boundaries, speak up, be of service, practice gratitude. As Jessica Campbell would say, follow your bliss. Take baby steps to your long change goal or target and make adjustments along the way. People sometimes forget about the adjustments. They're like, I'm going to that goal and nothing's going to stop me. Well, life doesn't always work that way. You make little adjustments. Number 6, clear your body. Practice self-care and self-love. Make yourself a priority. Detox your body by eating the right foods. To clear your body, take baths in either sea salt or Epsom salts. If you're in a rush and you don't have a bathtub, take a shower and scrub yourself with regular salt from bottom to top. And if you don't have salt, just imagine all the energetic dirt that you don't want on you being rinsed away while you shower. Simple. Put your body out in nature. Nature is the biggest healer. Deeply, and when we're stressed, we do a lot of shallow breathing. Ground yourself, maybe even consider fasting. There's a reason that a lot of religions have a practice of short-term fasting for like health and purification purposes. Um, Dance like no one's watching, smile and show every single one of your teeth. Laugh until your belly hurts, singing loud and proud. And music has such powerful healing frequencies. If you know how to cut cords, clear your aura and your chakras. And I want to talk about how often do you appreciate your body? Like, usually we only take notice of our body when there's an ache or pain, and also how often do you thank your body? So, practice some gratitude with your body, yourself. Trust your body. Your body has intelligence and is connected to all that is. This, the monkey brain or the ego, which I have a healthy one of, is what gets in the way of true connection to source, others, and perfect health and abundance. Okay, so number 7, I gotta make this faster. Clear your space. Clean up your home, car, workspace. Is your home a cluttered mess? So sometimes mine is. So clutter inhibits flow and lowers your vibration. So I was watching the Netflix show Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. So it's all about discarding possessions that don't spark joy and treating everything with love and finding a good home for things you don't need and thanking the things that need to go. So afterwards, the residents felt less stressed, their relationships improved, and they felt like anything was possible just from clearing their home. So Feng Shui is another way to clear energy blocks in the home. I recommend the black hat. I practice that. Be mindful of your environment. Sage or smudge your home on occasion. Invite white light into your space in your body. So to recap, increase your flow, ground, meditate, and practice mindfulness. Clean your thoughts, words, actions, body, and space.
Awesome. That's incredible. Well, we have to wrap it up. YuSon, you have so much content, so much information that I think the folks could actually take this as a master class, right? In energy hygiene, because I think you've got so many actionable steps and tips that can help people to really make a difference in their energy hygiene at home. There is a question here: how can one reprogram itself when the past is current? Knowing world events, things that are happening right now, how can someone change their program, change their mindset right now?
Yeah, great question. So the first thing is you can have it be less impactful to yourself by simply grounding. And then what emotions that you feel, like, don't negate them or stuff them, but feel into it. The best way to get, through something is actually through something and not, ignoring it. So that's the other way. And if you know any energetic clearing tools, you can utilize those as well. So, Akashic Records clearings, quantum touch, any one of those, like Reiki, use what you know. And if you don't know any, that's fine. Just fill yourself with love and light.
That's right. We just got to get through this thing. We just got to get through this life, man.
That's right.
Okay, so if you want to reach YuSon, you're at YuSonShin.com. I've got that up on the screen. We've got thank yous coming in. Love this. Thank you guys so much for joining us and being with us today with YuSon. We're just going to check one more comment here. Healing carpal tunnel on the left hand. Thank you. Well, you know what? You can always go out to YuSon's website, connect with her there, get a session, and you guys have you have a master at your disposal in YuSon. Is there any final words you would like to leave with our friends here before we wrap it up and head out?
I want to practice what I preach. So I want to express my gratitude to you, Kira, and to everyone who is here with us today or listening to the replay. Thank you so much. We do this for you. So thank you, Kira.
Yes, you're absolutely welcome. And then I'll extend another thank you to Liz Donahue at Celebrate Your Life and Michigan Productions for allowing us to use her platform to bring more awareness to voices of wisdom and to those people who deserve to be heard and deserve to get out there. And because the heart, the mission, the soul, the purpose is about helping to transform lives and to make a difference in this world, to help you heal and help you get to a place where you are empowered to do those things that you're wanting to do to help make the world a better place as well. So, awesome. Thank you so much, YuSon. Hang out with me. I want to see you backstage. And we've got, like I said, all these thank yous coming in. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back again tomorrow. And I will see you later. Bye.
Bye.